What's up, guys? It's Alex. Today we're going to go over the daily trading plan. I've got one trade of the day for you that I believe wins no matter what. Okay, and then second, I need to clarify some things about this election data we went over here. Okay, and I think it's extremely important you understand this. So, guys, in the Qs, right, we said it sells off 1.94% within the following 3 days, but this is the following day of election day in 2016 when Trump was elected. Okay, so look, this is election day and this is post-election day. This is going to be what is most likely going to happen today. Now, is it to the same magnitude? We're not sure how, what is the scale factor there. Okay, but the point is this is, most likely a mirror of what is likely to happen today on the Qs. Okay, so although the Qs sell off 1.94% within the following 3 days, let's actually bring this here. Okay, you can see there is still an up day here post election day, so I want you guys to be careful and I want you to keep that in mind. Okay, let's also show you what happens to the SPY though. Okay, so from November 8th, look, SPY just goes up from 9, 10, 11. So we were talking about how a win by Trump is going to be positive for the the SPY, the market. And with that being said, there are still short opportunities as you can see, but I do want you to be aware of this. Okay, so next let's go over very quickly region. Okay, so region, obviously it's bullish. Okay, so look what's happening today in the pre-market. You can see region spiking up in the pre-market. Okay, so far, right, it's how's the market reacting, and currently the market is reacting in a way that Trump is the more likely prospect to win. So I told you guys we could start trading oil, right, but how do we actually trade now? How do we transition into these sectors we've been talking about? Okay, so the oil worked out damn well last night. Okay, and you can see here we had this intraday drop, or after our drop down to 37.28. Okay, there's so many spikes and drops, and it's having a failed breakout attempt right now as we speak. Okay, but likely with the Trump win, oil will most likely break out past this range it's been in here that it's been stuck in, right? So let's show you what that looks like on the chart. Okay, and this is where you can easily reposition here in the following day. So this is what I noticed when I was taking this oil trade last night. Okay, I noticed that it gaps down just slightly. Okay, but there was these huge spikes downwards on November 9th, which is today. Okay, and that coincides perfectly with what we've already seen here on the chart in oil in the pre-market. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So although oil is likely to end higher for the day, which is why you don't want to hold these contracts here, although you can in the next 3 days. Okay, obviously Trump winning is a huge positive for oil, and we see oil higher on November 9th in relation to November 8th of the election day. But after that, the next 2 days, it sells off. Okay, so that's what I want you to realize, is that oil likely to end higher for the day, assuming Trump is the likely, candidate here, as it seems. Okay. And I want you to know that, all right, that it will stay up likely and then after sell off. Okay, so same with the NASDAQ, right? You saw this with the Qs, all right? It's up November 9th and then sells off the next day, okay? So please keep that in mind. When we calculate these percentages, it's within the following 3 days post-election. Okay, so just looking at, 2016 chart, look how helpful that is to realize or to see and show you this, okay? Because I don't believe I made it clear enough that we're calculating the 3 days after election day. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Okay, so initially, a Trump win is a very positive catalyst for the market, right? But after that's priced in, it's settled in, then November 10th drops. Okay, so please keep that in mind. And with that being said, we're going to get into the trade of the day. Alright, so guys, the trade of the day is FSLR puts. Okay, and let me show you why. So this is 2016 when Trump was elected. What happens? FSLR gaps down and recovers. What do we have right now? FSLR gapping down and recovering. Okay, so currently matching up to 2016 case, but I want to show you what happens if the Democrats actually won what happened in 2008 when Obama was elected. Look at this. So we know that a Democratic win is supposed to be a huge positive for solar stocks, for renewable energy. What happens though? It actually gaps down, continues lower for the next day. So this just goes to show you the uncertainty, volatility, and the conditions post-election day. Even with the Democratic win, we had FSLR dropping. Now I would show you Solar Edge, but it wasn't even a company back in 2008. Okay, so you have to realize here that no matter what here, First Solar dropped both in 2016 and 2008, and that's what we want to do, is capitalize on trades that go both ways here. Okay, and you can see that right there. So currently matching up more so to the Trump case with the gap down and recovery. And you have to realize with these FSLR contracts, guys, literally any point a good news comes out for Biden, he wins even Nevada, what is that, 6 electoral votes, okay, then this thing could shoot up at intraday. Okay, so you got to be careful, and that's why we want to short the bounce on FSLR, okay, because likely based off 2016 and 2008 it's going to continue lower, and we know for a fact, right, that a Trump win is supposed to be a negative catalyst for solar stocks, okay. And here you can actually see it really doesn't hold off for long. It's really not that much of a negative. Okay, but the following 2 days post-election, it definitely is. Okay, so we want to take advantage of this. And then, by the way, I want you to realize the bearish factors we have on FSLR chart here. So you got more sellers coming in than buyers, right, on the down days. On top of that, it's topped out post earnings, right? You had the positive catalyst, right, which is earnings, pushes a higher, and it's not been able to push any higher from that point on. Okay, so remember we shorted FSLR last week, and this was an incredible swing trade for 3-day trade, bearish continuation, just like we called out from top to bottom. That was 16 point move. Okay, did we all capitalize on a 16-point move? No, you had to have stellar execution to pull that off, but nonetheless we had a 16-point drop, and that was a trade from last week. So we continue with this bearish bias on FSLR. Like I said, you can see it's recovering here up pre-market, and you see, I've only been recording for about 10 minutes, and the circumstances change. Okay, so you need to be able to adapt and actually have your own conclusion and your own mindset whenever you're trading these things. You can't just go off of what's in a video. You have to be able to understand when things are changing, and currently things are changing. Okay, so now we have a new thesis almost. Okay, let me show you why. Well, if it's not gapping down as significantly as it was before, right, well then what does it actually match up more to? This matches up much more with the Biden win here and or the Obama win in 2008. So likely your case actually might be to short the open, near the open, or on a slight bounce to this top level back up here, or top level back up to here. Okay, overall we know there's a bearish bias for these FSLR, and a rise here shouldn't shake you out of wanting to short it, right? So you see the bullish price action, and straight up, if you could have some puts right now in the pre-market and you saw them accumulating and losing value right now, would you be scared of that? Okay, or would you have identified it, sold it here, or let's just say you didn't sell out of them in time, right? You're holding them. Okay, you're now down a significant amount. Let's say you put 10,000 in, you're probably down to 4,000 by this point. Okay, but do you get shaken out by that, or do you add to your position here? And that's where data helps you. Okay, that's where understanding what you're actually doing helps you. If you have to go and ask a question during the day like, hey, should I be selling out right now? Likely you're not actually understanding the process of what you need to be doing and why you're doing things. Okay, so if you're not sure what you're doing, you can ask questions below. But for the most part, you want to be careful, and you want to make sure you actually understand the process here. Okay, and we're seeing the process is that no matter who won back in 2008 and 2016, okay, FSLR drops, okay, and in 2016 with the Trump win, you actually see it recover. So you got to be careful there, all right? But that is, the conclusion here for FSLR. Okay, so now that it's recovering, likely you could get puts at the open or on a bounce. You obviously got to look at price action until ultimately our bias is for FSLR to continue lower at this point. Okay, so it's easy to get shaken out, but it's a lot easier to stay in the trade when you actually know what you're doing. So guys, that's the trade of the day. I hope you enjoy what we went over. I hope clarifying these things, about like Qs going up the post-election day helps you. Damn it, guys, whenever you do that, you actually have to go put in the date again. That takes forever. Okay, but notice that the Qs actually go higher post-election day and then drop. Okay, so keep that in mind, because that's what's matching up to the scenario we have right now, right? We got Region and these other, Trump beneficials rising in the pre-market. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. I hope you found this useful. I'm Alex. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. And guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Make it a great trading day.